Time to Heal. My name is Pam Hemphill, and today on our show I have a really wonderful lady that's come here to share with you what it's like in the beginning of recovery. I know there's a lot of you out there that's been in and out of the program for a while, and I want you to know there is hope. I was in and out of the 12-step program for 4 years, and they placed bets on me. And every time I would come back, it was a big struggle. But one day at a time, now I have over 35 years of recovery, and it does get better. But in the beginning, it's a real hard, and I know it's a real struggle. So today we want to sit here and have our friend here share with us. Can you tell the audience your name?
My name's Chantell.
Chantell, what it's like for you right now. But first, let's start with talking about when did you first start drinking? How did it all begin?
I started drinking when I was 12 years old at a friend's house. I lost my virginity in the bathroom with an older guy. I I disconnected from everything when I found the alcohol, and then I started smoking pot and did some cocaine when I was younger, and I always went to school. I got in fights.
You're 12 years old when you started drinking.
Yes, and
what was happening at 12? What was going on that was so bad that you felt like you needed to drink?
To be part of something.
You felt empty inside?
Yes, very empty.
What was going on at home? What was Mom and Dad like?
My mom was wonderful. She was in recovery, and she was an NA. So I grew up in recovery, but I partied, and my father kidnapped me when I was younger and beat the crap out of me because I looked just like my mother, and called me all these dirty names. So I think that's what started me to drink. I dig down deep inside.
You know, when first time I met my father, I was 5 years old. I was wearing red lipstick. You know how little girls dress up?
Mm-hmm.
My father was an alcoholic, and he slapped me in the face. And he said, "What are you dressing up and looking like a, you know?"
Right.
So I know that pain.
So then when I was 14, my mom's boyfriend raped me and wanted to play quarters because I was supposed to babysit, and he wanted to play quarters with me at a hotel, and I did, and I drank
quarters.
Quarters, when you have a quarter and you drop it, you try to put it in the cup.
It's a little game.
It's a little game, yeah. Okay. And I lost, and so I drank this rum and coke, and it was, it had...
It's okay, just breathe.
It had something in it that knocked me out, and when I woke up, he was on me.
Oh.
And then I got really sick, and I was only supposed to babysit, and that never happened. So when my mom called, because I went out there and said, "Is that my mom?" Because he told my mom I was passed out and that I drank. And I tried to open the door, and he came and slammed it and told me I wasn't going to go anywhere. And so I got on the phone with my mom, and I was crying, and she said, "Are you okay? Do I need to come get you?" And I said, "Yes." So when she showed up, he got in the front seat, and I got in the back. And when we arrived home, he was trying to help me out, and I told him to stay the blank away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran to my room and I lit a cigarette, and my mom came running in the room saying, "Why are you acting like that?" And I told her what happened. And she went out there and punched him and wrapped me up in a bathrobe and took me to the hospital. And police were involved, and he went to jail.
This was not your fault, you know. Look at me.
Right?
Right? Say that.
It's not my fault.
Makes sense why you drank, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, then I partied like a rock star.
Yeah, numb all those feelings.
Yeah. And my father told me when I told him that I was raped, he said it was my fault. And that was the last time I spoke to him, my dad, until I was older. So then my mom noticed that me and my brother were getting in trouble, and everybody was starting to do meth and, am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Meth and coke, and it wasn't, so she flipped a quarter on the map, and it landed me in Milford, Connecticut when I was 16. And I was mad because I had to move. But I still partied, except for I got to party on a beach and then by the ocean. You know, I had this beautiful house my mom rented. It was the glass house, I called it, because it was all windows. And I still smoked pot and drank. And I became a cheerleader because I really wanted to do that. And my brother and I tried out because he was playing football, so a bunch of his friends tried out with me. And then when they finally found out that I made it, they went and quit so they could play football. And that's when I started partying even more. And I would do round-offs and all that stuff in high school, but I was so high. And the teachers just passed me for class. I didn't have to do the work. I didn't have to do anything. I was a cheerleader, so I automatically got passed, which I regret that because I didn't learn very much.
Yeah. I want to hand you that little guy. Hold on for a minute. He had a drug and alcohol problem too at one time, but you can tell by the way he looks. But this has always helped me when I'm talking about painful things. So hold on to him during this.
Thank you, Pam.
Does that feel better?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I can breathe. It feels like. Yes.
That's one of the tools I use. Mm-hmm.
Well, I fell in love when I was younger, and he helped me go through this rape and stuff. And 11.5 years later, he called me. And 2 months after that, we moved in together, and we ended up getting married. And I partied. I drank a lot. I coke. Anything that I could do, I did to numb myself. I'm a flight attendant. And
how long did you do that?
I've been a flight attendant for 15 years.
Really?
And I'm a caregiver, and I've been doing that since my divorce was 4 years ago. Yeah. So I'm busy, and I'm a single mom.
You enjoy helping people.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So he had a really bad drinking problem, and he quit, and he went to AA. Then I quit and went to AA with him. I went to a 12-step program with him, and I was still drinking and using when I was away from him, and my life was just too much. I couldn't stand it any longer, so I quit with him. And
well, can I ask you a question? When you were going to the 12-step program with him, you went with him because he started.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you stop going? What happened?
I got.
Well, how long ago was that you did that?
Well, I've been divorced 4 years, and then 3 years. was in the beginning of our relationship. And we were together for 10 years. So in the beginning of our relationship, when I was 25.
So about 25,
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, you started. Was that the first time you'd gone to a 12-step program?
Well, my mom, for myself, yes.
You knew about it, but
Yeah.
for yourself.
But for myself,
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
absolutely. And then I stayed, sober for 4 years, and I had a baby, and I wanted to move home because I lived in Vancouver.
You stayed sober. Did you go to the program?
Yeah, I dug in deep.
Really? Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, I went to a meeting in Vancouver, Washington.
Did he stay sober too?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I wanted to move home because our family was home,
Okay.
and I had a baby boy. So, I had a lot of problems having children, and we did fertility.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up being able to have my son. I wanted to move home so I could be closer to our family.
Mm.
And within 6 months, he started drinking again. And I drank again. And then it was like it never left. So when I took that first drink, it was on. I wasn't going to stop.
Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic.
Right? Blackouts.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting.
Was he abusive to you?
Only one time.
Okay.
Yeah, he hit me in the head and I kicked him in the stomach.
You hit him back?
Yeah. With my
Women do abuse men, don't they?
Right, yeah. Right. And then we always went to Cabo for our getaway. And we did crazy things in Cabo.
Mm. And how long did that go on, this drinking together back?
Until we got divorced.
Which was about how long?
4 years ago. He was the love of my life.
This is still very painful for you. It's okay to feel, you know. It's okay. Just breathe. Take a deep breath. Is there some clinics there? Remember, it's coming up to heal you. It's not coming up to hurt you. This is part of the reason you drank so much. And I'm burying this for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And God's trying to heal you.
Okay.
So it's still very hard to talk about him.
Yeah,
How's he doing right now?
we have a really good relationship. We put our kids first. He's married.
Is he back?
She's wonderful.
Is he sober now?
No, he drinks. And she drinks. But they love my kids, and and that's okay for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay for me. Because I do the blackouts. I run amok. I don't pay my bills. I want to sleep with every man in the world and tell them to get out of my bed and throw their clothes out the window, the door, and say, you can get just out there.
My first sponsor was a prostitute. And when she got sober, she said her spiritual experience was buying underwear. But when I met her, she was a detective. So, all of us women have gone through that, where we'd wake up in the morning and say, who is that,
Right.
You couldn't ever feel clean enough.
Exactly.
So don't shame yourself, okay? It's part of the disease. Part of the illness.
From 18 to 23, I was...
We're not bad people getting good.
Right.
Okay, we're ill people getting well.
And sometimes other people are sicker than others.
We did what we did.
Right.
Keep going.
So I went to, I got hurt on the airplane. You
mean physically?
Yeah, there was a lot of turbulence, and I got hurt on the airplane. And the doctor prescribed me some medication, and he kept upping my medication. And it was fentanyl and Percocet and gabapentin and...
Oh, an alcoholic's dream in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right?
Free drugs.
Exactly. So I was getting all doped up, thinking more in my head that, oh, I hurt more, and and I didn't realize what I was doing. I hurt more, so he'd up my medication. Well, by the third month, my workman's comp said no more. He said no more. He wanted to detox me one-on-one. I called 2 other doctors. They said absolutely not. If you don't go to treatment, you will die. I was having a hard time breathing. I was on fentanyl for some 75. I mean, it was really high. And I was taking 8 to 10 Percocet a day. And my body was swelling up. And so...
Were you prescribed 8 a day?
Yes. And then he wanted me to go down to 6. And I went to my mom's house for a while to try to get down to 6. But when they stopped me on everything, I reached out to my union and I said, he's going to stop me and return me back to work on Friday, and I'm on all this medication and I know I can't fly. So I went, they said you can, within 24 hours, they flew me to uni in Salt Lake City for a detox, and I detoxed for 7 straight days. It was the worst pain I've ever gone through in my whole entire life.
That's what I've heard.
I wanted to die. I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I wanted to run into traffic. I wanted to, and all I could do was look outside the windows or stay in my bed or take showers after showers after showers just to try to feel alive or get the stuff away from me. And then after I had to deal with that, they sent me to Recovery Ways in Salt Lake, to my treatment center. And I thought I only had to do 30 days, including my detox, and then 2 more weeks, and then they said no. So I became really honest with myself, because I know that I drink a lot. And if I look outside the box of that fentanyl and the doctors, I am an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I'm not proud of it. But at least I know that I can be honest with myself and ask for the help.
You know what? You were 10 years old, and what you said was, I'm going to grow up and become an alcoholic. Right?
Right.
Somehow when you said, I'm not proud of it, try to remember, you didn't ask for the illness. So it's not your fault. It's our responsibility, though. Now that I know I'm diabetic or whatever illness I have, and it is a mind disease, I have to take care of that. So don't put the shame on you and the guilt. You didn't want to have all this happen. Now that you're aware, look at what you're doing now. Share with us. What are you doing now for your recovery?
They flew me home 2 days ago. I have 52 days. My brother picked me up and then took me to my vehicle, and I went directly to a meeting. Wonderful. And then I went to another meeting. And then my kids' stepmom picked up my kids and brought them to me and videotaped it, and I got to surprise my children.
Tell me about your children quickly here.
There's
about your children.
My kids,
how old are they?
7 and 9. They're wonderful. Yeah, my 9-year-old is a boy, and my 7-year-old's of course, my girl. Yeah. But they're wonderful.
Are they staying with you right now? Or?
Yeah, they're with me. We share every other week.
Okay.
We share custody, and she taped everything from the time the kids walked in the door to see me, because they expected me home on Sunday.
You never lost your children?
No.
I did lose my children. For those that are listening, I want mothers to know that you could still say sober. I did lose mine. My daughter was 6 weeks old. My son was only a year and a half old. I never got him back. But what a blessing. Tell me some more about these children.
My son loves baseball. He told me one time, he's like, Mom, we get a flight for free. And I said, yeah. And he's like, well, we need to go to New York. And I said, why? He goes, because we need to go watch the New York Yankees. I said, okay, we can figure that out. And he goes, because I need to see Babe Ruth. And I'm like, Babe Ruth, okay. I'm sorry, he's up in the stars.
Did they ever mention your drinking or say anything to you in the past? Did they ever bring it up?
Yeah, my son said, why do you always have to drink? Why do you always have to drink your wine?
It's so hard to explain, huh?
Mom, can I have some wine since you're having some? It's bad for you. So I had to explain to them that because I went to a hospital to get better because I couldn't sit and I couldn't bend over. And once I got off all that medication, I was able to bend over and do my thing. That I don't drink anymore. And they're really, really proud of me.
You know, in a lot of treatment centers, I want to say this, they do have family times, but there isn't enough help for the children. Just something for you to think about. There is a sister program called Al-Anon, and there's Alateen. And I went to an Alateen meeting once, and this little boy was in there, 5 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And he was crying about mom and daddy's drinking and hurting, you know. And there's a person there overlooking the group. It's their group. And I thought, wow, this is awesome. If parents could just get their children right away into this program, 'cause it's free. They get to find out that it's not their fault. They get to learn that it's not your fault. And it was an illness. They get to learn everything you're learning. So just something to think about.
Oh, absolutely.
We're getting closer to our time here, but I just want to make sure you know about that and maybe ask them if they'd be willing to try a few of those meetings.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to take them to that. Briefly.
Okay.
Briefly, I did.
Because the kids need a place to talk.
Oh, absolutely.
And I bet they're so happy for you right now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, they are. So it's wonderful. I missed them.
Mm-hmm. So have you, you know about getting a sponsor?
Yeah, I got a temporary sponsor right now.
Okay.
And I'm doing service work. And
what are you doing as for service work?
Well, I at the last meeting I just went to, I took out the trash.
Wonderful.
I got a phone list. I talked in the meeting today.
Good.
Yeah, for Experience, Strength, and Hope, it's wonderful. And I'm just going to dive into recovery.
Yeah.
Because the only two options I have is to learn more about myself and to give freely, or I can go and die. Those are the only two options that I have.
Yeah, what did they say, death?
Uh-huh.
Well, I wanted that one.
Right.
I wasn't going to be that lucky to insanity.
Right, which we...
Prison.
Right.
And people say, well, how would I ever go to prison because I'm not a criminal? Well, what if you're drinking and driving and kill somebody?
Right.
I mean, there's ways, you know. Yeah, we don't have to do that.
No. And so I'm going to dive in deep. And I read the book.
Okay, the main text.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful.
And I circle all the we's in it because every time I think of I get in trouble. So when I'm like, we, and it helps me read the text.
So the first step, I'm powerless over alcohol. My life has become unmanageable. You're convinced on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you know the first step is the only one we could do 100%.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm either pregnant or I'm not. I'm an alcoholic or I'm not. So you're an alcoholic.
Yes.
You're convinced.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Higher power can restore me to sanity.
Yes.
You know what they mean by being restored to sanity?
Yes.
Okay, that means the thoughts that precede the first drink.
Oh. Well, okay. Yeah.
When I would take that first one, what was going on in my mind that I picked up the first one? And so far, for 35 years, I've been restored to that part of sanity, not the other part.
Right, I hope not.
That first drink, something happened in my brain where it's not okay to do that today. And that is not me. Because, I mean, nothing could stop me when I wanted to drink. So that's what step 2 is about. And then step 3, we're getting close to ending it. And remember, step 3 is about turning it over to a higher power. They say your will and your life, which means your thoughts and your actions every morning. And I remember my sponsor used to tell me, don't wait till at night, do it all day. You can't overdose in saying thy will be done. We're closing here. We're getting really close to the end. I want you to share briefly, if somebody was sitting here and they're kind of like sure if they want to do this thing, what would you like to say to them?
I would say to them, if you can drink and give it your all drinking, why don't you try this way for a few days and give it your all in recovery? And it's just one day at a time. You don't have to look at the days or the years or the months. You can only look at it the moments, minutes, and a day. And I wish them the best and service work.
Oh, absolutely.
And a higher power.
Yeah.
But that comes within time.
And we can't do it alone.
Exactly. We cannot do it alone. No. That's why I circle those we's.
I still go to meetings. I do not do this by myself. And the good news is we don't have to do it alone.
Right.
That God is there with us.
And it's okay to be scared.
And it's okay, yes.
Because the unity of the program will help you and carry you until you can be strong enough.
Yes. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing to the community.
Well, thank you for your time and letting me be on your program.
And you have my number. You call me anytime, 24 hours. I don't care.
Thank you.
And do what they asked me to do. Make this promise that before you drink, you call me. And if you got a good reason, I'll go with you.
Okay.
I haven't come up with one yet.
That's a great one.
Anyway, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us today. And thank you to my Facebook friends. We really appreciate you viewing today. And all of those of you that are out there struggling, just know you can do this one day at a time. Just stick with me one more day. And remember, God isn't going to give you more than you can handle. Just reach out and make that phone call, that heavy phone. It can be heavy. And hang in there, because your miracle is on its way.